To me, it looked like the kind of classic situation when you see a team who just won a championship. And I think the classic situation I'm speaking of was, I think, just exacerbated by the overall situation going on in the world and in the NBA. But a lot of times you see a little bit of a letdown on championship ring night, and I can imagine that would be even more so the case on a night like tonight where there is no crowd there to supply any extra energy. It's just kind of weird. LeBron has won championships before, won three, obviously, before this one. And so I know I would really be interested. I don't know if he spoke about this after the game, but I would really be interested to see just how different it felt and how, if that affected him or the team, just not having that energy in the building to celebrate a championship. So you look at the quick turnaround for the Lakers. I mean, I think what did they say, it was just like 70 days ago or something like that they won the championship, and haven't really been home all that long from the bubble. And now they got to start it back up and crank that energy back up. So it's not going to be easy. I expect the Lakers to kind of struggle a little bit through the first month of the season, just for real. I think Frank Vogel would be very wise to be super judicious with Anthony Davis and LeBron James's minutes. I think we saw a little of that tonight. Neither of them played a ton of minutes. And I think that's just a smart way to go, because this is, even though it's only 71 games that they're playing, I think that this is got to be a marathon and not a sprint for them. And they got to treat it as such. They got to get into the postseason. They got the right type. I mean, they can get there in their sleep. They have the type of team that the home court advantage is not necessarily that big of a deal for them. I think they can win without that. The other thing about it is you got to think about how valuable really is home court advantage if there's not going to be any fans there at all anyway. How valuable really is that going to be? Yeah, you got the travel situation, but I don't know how big of a deal that's going to be. So that's a lot of stuff like that to consider throughout this whole season. Now, one thing that I will say, and I see a few people in the chat bringing this up. What's going on? Eli, Andrew, and Azad are both talking about Paul George. And I'm going to get into this in a second, because earlier today, for anybody that doesn't know me, I write for Forbes. I cover sports video games for Forbes. On heavy.com, I cover the Patriots and the Bulls. So I wrote a piece earlier today where I put my predictions for the NBA awards for the season in an article, and I'm going to kind of go over that, talk about that a little bit today. But I really, I really have a good feeling about Paul George this year. I think he took a lot of that stuff to heart, and he took it personal. The way that pretty much the Twitter world came down hard on Paul George. They're like, bro, you suck, playoff P and all of this, and all, just hit him hard, and he played bad. And I think the bubble was really tough on him from a mental standpoint. And I think he's very happy to get out of there and to be able to get back to some level of normalcy. And I think he showed a little bit of that tonight. 33 points, shot fantastic from the field. I think it was 5 out of 8 from 3-point range. Just really looked great. He shot well on the night when Kawhi struggled from the field. So that was that, So I am looking forward to him having a heck of a season, to be honest. I really am. It's like, yeah, man, I'm looking at Paul George to have a humongous season. Obviously, health dependent upon it. He has to stay healthy, which is not always a given for him. But he got to stay healthy. And I believe, though, if he is healthy, I think you'll see him have a strong season.